Nope, this is way too high. Here we go. Okay. Hope everybody's having a pretty chill afternoon. Because, well, I mostly have. Made the cover for my next big project, so that's a fun time. It's in a pretty good spot too. Very happy with how it's come out. Let me just go and get some music, because we have an agenda today, and it's an interesting one, because we're doing races, and I've not done races really much at all. I generally just don't really do them, because all the base races are fine, you know, like they exist and they're just fine as is. So let me just grab basically the plan for today is to be doing some Magic the Gathering races for 5e now. Most of these races, all bar one of them, have actually been done before by Wizards, but they've been done indescribably poorly, because the Plane Chase series of free booklets, whilst great because they're free, the actual like character option content in there is it's pretty fucking awful. Like, generally speaking, it's really terrible. It has its merits, but is mostly shite. So the plan is to rebuild them, because we have the technology. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and grab some of them, because we're going to start with the core, because the core are very, very simple. They are vaguely humanoid beings that are good at climbing and rock stuff. That's it. They're very, very simple. About as simple as a race in any fantasy setting can be. They are sort of some borderline between humans and elves with a different skin color that have a theme, and the core's theme is some rocks. Yeah. The plane shift content is, I would argue, almost universally awful. I would say there is very little merit to be found. The actual concept of the Plane Chase books are actually really good, like conceptually, and we've basically gotten whole, you know, like 300-page books of basically or plane shape. Is it plane shift? Plane shift, not plane chase. Plane chase is a whole different thing. So looking at the core get bonus dexterity and bonus wisdom, which, yeah, that's quite strong actually. They get a climbing speed, and they get proficiency in athletics and acrobatics, and they also get lucky, like halfling lucky, for no fucking reason. And halfling brave as well, also for no reason. So I think the things that we can keep. Hang on, let's so hang on, let's get all the core stuff. Oh, it's bulleted for no reason. There we go. Right. So that seems, so yeah, they live about as long as humans. They're generally lawful good. Yeah, so you get speed, and then you also get a climbing speed. Not encumbered or wearing heavy armor. core climbing, and these two traits are the ones we're going to shave away, because fuck just stealing traits from another class. Like the brave, I sort of get. The brave is like a concept that I don't inherently despise. But lucky is strictly a halfling thing, and we don't need that shit. So let's have a read of some core lore, some claw, if you will. So core MtG. Let's do a bit of the old reading. Let's find out some information. Right, what planes are they on? They're from Wrath and Zendikar, and also because Wrath and Dominaria Wrath got sort of stacked on top of Dominaria, kind of like a mystical pancake. They're also on Dominaria now, I guess. The core of Zendikar live a sparse and nomadic existence. They travel mercilessly light, carrying with them only the essentials, valuing the portability of individual skill and strength of character over more static virtues. Despite their constant motion, the core revere locations in a deep sense. They travel in small bands along one of several pilgrimage routes, visiting dozens of sacred sites across Zendikar. Each pilgrimage circuit takes decades, and many are lost. It says Zendikar's dangerous along the way. The core are masters of ropes and hooks, using them to travel and hunt, and incorporating them into their spirituality. They rarely use unreliable devices such as crossbows to propel their grappling hooks onto cliff faces or into flying game, simply on simple sturdy rope and the skill of the arm. The hook line is also a social and sacred symbol for the core, representing their connection to each other. So, yeah, they seem to care about I forget what the term is. It's called like line slinging. That's it. Which for starters is really fucking cool. Core climbing. Oh, I have an idea. Additionally, you know just how to fashion the perfect climbing tools and use them effectively. Over a 1 hour period, you can take 50 feet of rope. You can take 50 feet of hemp rope. No, this doesn't work. This doesn't work. They could be sure-footed and have advantage on saving throws against effects that would move them, that would sort of physically move them against their will. Yeah, that could be good. Sure-footed. You advantage on checks and saving throws to avoid falling, falling or being physically moved against your will. This effect or being physically moved against your will. So if the DM goes, oh, you fail your acrobatics check to jump over the gorge, make a dexterity saving throw to not fall and die, the core have advantage. Which I think, you know, it makes sense, it's cool. So I think something like this does actually you know, add a layer of like actual strength to the core, like as a player race. The silent speech of the core. How do they speak silently? That's not how that works. You know, you move your mouth and sounds come out. That's what speech is. What? I'm so confused. I'm very confused. I'm very confused. Does it say anything about their language? No, it doesn't, because it made a horrible noise that I really wish I could get rid of. Huh. I'm not sure. Huh. I'm really not 100% on where to sort of go from here. Because I'm liking what we have. I think it's really cool. But I think they need that sort of extra sort of panache. They get 2 free skill proficiencies actually. And a climbing. Yeah, actually no. Yeah, I think they're probably in a good spot. I think this is a race like that's serviceable. It's not overly powerful, but the ability scores you get are really good. Like, you know, cores make like the ultimate rangers or monks, which makes perfect sense. They're also pretty solid like fighters as well. Yeah, this is cool. I think sure-footed is actually kind of a useful ability. Core climbing is like genuinely kind of good. Just getting 2 skill proficiencies for literally just being a certain race. That's nuts. So I think that from here we can sort of move on to merfolk. Now merfolk have also been tackled in the past, and I will also repeat, they've been tackled quite poorly. The way that they have been executed is just not very good. They've just kind of been executed really badly. So a lot of the merfolk that we get, they're sort of split into 2 like sort of separate factions. There is the ones from Ixalan, which have their own stats, and the ones from Zendikar, which also have their own stats. Both of which I don't like. So the sort of obvious sort of option, I suppose, is so let's take sort of now obviously you could just use the Triton, but I really don't like the Triton. I think they're kind of poorly executed as like a player race. I really don't think they're very interesting. So, I don't think merfolk need sub-races. I really don't think they do at all. I think merfolk are perfectly fine on their own. I think merfolk getting bonus charisma makes a lot of sense. I think they're generally seen as very charismatic creatures. Very sort of, very cool. Everyone goes like, oh, that guy, he's a fish man. He seems kind of neat. I should listen to him. this is shit. Let's write some new stuff for this. Your base walking. You also have a swimming speed of 30 feet, which also makes sense. And obviously, you are indeed amphibious, and you can speak 3 languages, which I think makes sense given their nature as travelers. You know, they're sea sort of venturers. They've been to places. It makes sense they'd be able to speak Common and Merfolk, and maybe like Elven or Dwarven, or depending on what sort of the banks of whatever civilization they live along. I think that would sort of make a lot of sense. So alignment-wise, let's have a look at the Merfolk on the Magic Wiki. And obviously, Merfolk across the planes are generally very, very different. Merfolk appear in all 5 colors, but predominantly, all colors except red, but very predominantly in blue, with sort of some flecks into green. They're blue, sometimes green, and very occasionally white. So, yeah. So, Now, Merfolk are much like goblins in that they are very, very different, very planar dependent in what they are and where they're sort of from, which is, you know, Merfolk enjoy lives of freedom, freedom amongst this, amidst the sea and amidst the seas. Live lives of freedom amidst the sea's currents, trading with many different peoples, and interacting with many different peoples. Most Merfolk are neutral, which does make sense. Like, the Merfolk would be generally a neutral species of creatures. I think that generally makes a lot of sense. Stat-wise, I really don't want to be like, oh, +2 dexterity, because every fucking race under the sun has exactly that. So I think +2 charisma, I think, makes the most sense here, because they're sort of these very sort of, you know, they're either, you know, very approachable, friendly trading creatures, or they are, you know, like sirens, and the Undyne on Eldraine, which are what the Merfolk basically are on that plane. You've got the Little Mermaid card from Eldraine. I forget what it's called. I think it's an adventure card though. I'm gonna go find it. Hang on. Set Eld type Merfolk. Wishful Merfolk. It is not an adventure card. I was thinking of Merfolk Secret Keeper, which is a Merfolk that is an adventure. But no, Wishful Merfolk is the Ariel of Eldraine. There's also Emry, who is a very crunchy artifact engine, and I think would make a cool commander. Yeah, I think Emry would be a kind of neat commander, especially because she's mono blue, so you can just play a bunch of counter spells with your bullshit. Oh, yeah, welcome in. I'm doing pretty good. Doing some design for Magic stuff and also D&D stuff. It's very fitting this time of year, given they're cross-pollinating those fucking franchises as hard as they can. Okay. So obviously we can't just have this. This is fucking stupid here. This is on, you know, as an ability is fine. being amphibious makes sense, because, you know, you're a merc creature. That, you know, you'd be pretty stupid if you couldn't do that. However, I'm not 100% on exactly how we progress here. I think we generally just kind of ignore the okay. What's your base class? Because there's always two different types of multi-classing. There's fun multi-classing, and then there's I want my DM to know nothing but pain and suffering multi-classing. And there's a middle ground. It's a very hard one to find, but I'm kind of liking that the merfolk get access to extra cantrips. I kind of like that. I think that's kind of neat. Merfolk seem to be sort of quite innately magical. So yeah. I'm not sure if it's like completely sort of in flavor, so to speak, but I think it could be cool. And I think it makes sense, because merfolk seem like, you know, very inherently magical creatures, just based on their nature as being fish people. How does the High Elf 5e? Except we're not going to limit it to wizards, because High Elf sort of get it as like a tertiary ability. As opposed to all that other bullshit. Oh, it's just called cantrip. That's kind of stupid. I think the things you get at 18th to 20th level are just more... Okay, yeah, no, more spells. So... yeah. Now, I'm going to let you in on a little secret, and it may not necessarily work with your build. But, as I imagine you're probably aware, you can only cast one spell per turn, unless the other spell is a cantrip. That's not explicitly what that means. It means that if you cast a spell as a bonus action, the only other spell on that turn can be cast as an action. And vice versa. Except it's not vice versa at all. It's only that way. So Action Surge does work with spellcasting. It's very stupid. I don't quite understand exactly how it works. But you could take 3 levels in Fighter and to go like Eldritch Knight or something like that. And just have Action Surge. Cast 2 fireballs in a turn. Cast, I don't know, well, your 9th level, cast a Synaptic Static, and then, I don't know, a 4th level spell that's good. Greater Invisibility. That's probably a pretty good combo. So that's sort of like a... I think it's the problem with Wizard, is any multi-class you do is... Bard could give you something to do with your bonus action, so it's not a bad shout. Warlock, I don't think would really give you very much. Like wouldn't really give you a whole hell of a lot. And Fighter obviously gives you Action Surge. The problem with Wizards is that very little multi-classing with Wizard really makes them work unless you build your Wizard with that in mind from the outset. Like, you're a fucking blade singer and then you multi into fighter for more bullshit. So, yeah, I think you would, I think it's generally very difficult to come up with a good multi-classer wizard unless you come in on day one with that in mind and build your character around it. Rogue would do nothing for you. Barbarian would do even less for you. Barbarian would actively, you may as well decide to do nothing with those 3 levels because Reckless Attack does not work with spells. Rage stops you from casting or even concentrating on spells. And there's at least one other thing that just doesn't work. So Barbarian, I would strongly advise you don't do that. And I think more or less the same goes for Druid because Wild Shape's not much use. Medium armor. I mean, you could have just been a mountain dwarf and just had that for free at level 1. Yeah, you're obviously already pretty tanky given medium armor proficiency and the capacity for all kinds of stuff like shield and shit. Yeah, personally, I just wouldn't bother, because unless you know for a fact that the campaign is going to push to that high level, which like less than 10% ever do, I personally just wouldn't bother. I would keep pressing on with Wizard, because obviously Wizard doesn't become particularly. That's pretty decent for certainly for a wizard. That's pretty good. That's really good. Yeah, I would advise you probably don't, because that is true. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd say Bar Jack of all trades. It's pretty decent. Specifically for those like 4 spells. Oh, also you get Healing Word, which is like the best spell in the game. I don't know. Is it too much to say Healing Word is the best spell in the whole game? Yeah, that's probably a bit excessive, but it is certainly up there, like top 10 easily. Just best spell. Certainly, tier 1 and tier 2 Healing Word is the best spell in the game, I think. But once you sort of press into like, oh, lol, I cast Power Word Stun, it's like, okay, yeah, maybe Healing Word isn't quite as good as that. But, yeah, I would say. Oh, well, that's true. Yeah, but that's because that was Healing Spirit was only good through cheese. Like you had to like be a bit of a, you had to do some bullshit. That seems ill-advised. Ah, yes, I am a ranger. Then again, I suppose if they're Beastmaster, they basically didn't have a class to begin with. So I guess taking 4 levels in Cleric is generally probably going to be better. But yeah, Cleric is a bit of a Cleric is cool. I do like Cleric. Just very samey. But yeah, I would say if you're gonna do it, do Bard, because I think Bard is probably your. Oh, Hunter's okay. Hunter is okay. I'd say you'd certainly know if he was a Beastmaster, because he'd have a dog or a bear or something that has like 10 hit points and never does anything. But yeah, Hunter is actually kind of okay. It's not fantastic, but it's alright. Law would make the most sense. Because, you know, wizard and stuff. It's sort of the intelligence, but not really bard. Yeah, I'd say Lawbard is also just kind of decent, I think. It's one of the better ones. I suppose you also need to obviously like meet the prerequisite as well. Yeah, I'd say like the only reason you would go fighter is for that. It's a bit stupid, and you don't get anything else out of everything else you would get out of fighter would be completely pointless. You like at least one of the like level 1 would give you second wind and nothing else. But action surge is alright. So again, you need the stats for it though. But fighter is pretty easy to have. Certainly looks like you have it already, given you have 19 AC and medium armor. Obviously Barge, you need 13 charisma, and fighter you need 13 dex or strength. One or the other. Okay. But yeah, so me personally, I wouldn't multi at all. Because there's no guarantee your campaign will go to 18th, let alone 20th. So like sacrificing. Well, you only need a 13 in the stat in question to multi. And as long as you have like 18 intelligence or 18 plus intelligence at level 9, your wizard is probably fine. Because that's like, obviously wizards of course benefit from con and dex, but like realistically all you need is intelligence, and like shield does those other two for you if it's really bad. God Shield is such a good spell. There's no row being as good as it is. No, your stats are extremely good. Yeah, those are nuts. That's 30, 50, 63. That's 93. That's fucking insane. Assuming back at level, yeah, you're looking at 89 base stat total at level 1, which is huge. That's fucking massive. Yeah. That's insane. I keep data on this shit because I like data. I have like every character I've ever played, every character I've ever GM'd for or whatever. It's like 100 characters or something. The average stats, average base stat total is 82.4, which is substantially lower than your 89. Bearing in mind the highest I have ever seen ever is 95. Yeah, 89 is extremely good. Say, like, 13 charisma is all you need to multi into Bard. And just don't take any spells that really rely on your charisma. I mean, stats still matter in RP heavy game. I run RP heavy games, but stats still matter. Especially because they usually facilitate you being good at the RP in character. Because an advantage for making a cool speech only does so much. Gotta have the charisma or whatever to back it up. Looking at merfolk, So we've got amphibious. They get a cantrip. They need a sort of a flavor feature. Oh, thank you very much for the follow. Yeah, no prob. I mean, you don't have to be good at interacting with people to have high charisma. You just need to have a strong force of personality, I suppose. Oh, my webcam is in the wrong place. Whoops. Let's fix that. Oh, shit. Fuck. It won't... Well, let me select the webcam. Oh, that's a fucking did it again, didn't I? I'm just trying to move it around. I mean, it's more about, you know, I do zoom, big zoom. Oh fuck it, I'll move myself down here and just put the. Sorry, folks, just trying to shuffle all this tripe around. There we go, that's a bit better. If your DM says that, then your DM's a piece of shit. If your DM expects like to put it into perspective, if your DM expects you to stand up and like, you know, physically produce magical energy from your hands to cast the spell as a wizard, or to go outside and lift a car up to have really high strength, like that shit, like that doesn't work at the table, you know. Like it's a game about escapism, not a pissing contest, you know. If your DM does ask you to do that, then your DM deserves to be punched in the mouth. Oh god. Ow. Oh shit. Naga indeed. I think okay, if it's in jest, then that's fair enough. But like, if you know, if it's just a bit of a meme, but like if she's actually expecting you to do it, then nah, that's like a big no. I'm actually kind of lost. I've been putting this off. Let's go look at the Tritons. Because I do not like the Tritons, but I feel like there is some potential merit. Also that. Or a bard that doesn't use instruments at all. You have a bard who's inspiring just by speaking. Like an orator. An impassioned orator. Increases your charisma score increases by 2, and your constitution, I think, makes sense. Score increases by 1. Charisma and con, I'd say that's pretty good. Now, I might have to yoink this Triton ability, Guardian of the Depths. I don't so much like the flavor there. Yeah, or a bard who's like a dancer, or a That's cool. Yeah, that's a bard thing. Just like art of any variety. That's a bard thing right there. That on its own, like, I think doesn't really matter really. You just like I'd said Lore Bard because it's probably your best pick. Mostly because your charisma isn't all that fantastic. So yeah, the main thing with Bard is you want that bardic inspiration, and you want Jack of all trades, and you want expertise. And then you also, on top of that, you want what is it called? You want like a handful of like bard spells like Bless that don't require your charisma. I'm trying to think of other spells. Like Healing Word benefits from good charisma, but isn't required. Yeah, I was saying like you might have a bit of trouble with that because obviously you're starting low, but certainly like very, very late game, those sort of bard spells will probably not really be useful, though Bless is a very good spell. But I imagine if either of your clerics are not casting Bless, they should be, because Bless is nuts. Obviously there are other like really fun concentration cleric spells, but Bless is just too good to pass up in a lot of situations. In just a generic fight, you know, you pop Bless and make everybody's lives a bit easier. So good. So good. Right, I think, well, you're a merfolk. You should have the ability to communicate with sea creatures. So, speak with sea beasts. You can communicate simple thoughts and ideas to water breathing creatures. Speak with fish indeed. And understand their responses in kind. Yeah, that's fine. Sure thing. Thanks for stopping by. I think this is probably okay for merfolks. You get bonus charisma, bonus constitution, you're amphibious, you get a swim speed, you get a cantrip. It's any cantrip you want as well, which is cool. You know, you can have vicious mockery. Wait, fuck. That lets them have access to Eldritch Blast. Is that a problem? Probably. Is Eldritch Blast that good without all of the shit on top of it? Like, because without Warlock levels, yeah, if you're not a Warlock, having Eldritch Blast is really not that great a boon. Like, it probably has a higher average damage than Firebolt, because as long as you're not dumping, as long as your charisma is good. Yeah, because a lot of, like, if you're a melee character, why the fuck would you take this? Just have a, just have a ranged weapon. Like, if you're a martial character, just have a ranged weapon. Eldritch Blast is useless. People are just going to take, other cantrips like Friends or Mage Hand or Presto or whatever. Which makes a lot more sense. You're resistant to cold, and you can you can dive deep. Oh, that's true, yeah, but again, that does require outside sources, I guess. I think it's more consistent than Firebolt, because obviously, you know, Firebolt at level 17, you shoot one Firebolt, and if it hits, you do 5d10 fire damage, and if you miss, you do nothing. Whereas with Eldritch Blast, you shoot... You only shoot 4, so actually, yeah, you shoot 4 blasts. So any number of them can hit and any number of them can miss. So it's probably got fairly even in its sort of consistency. Alright, so... That's true, yeah, Toll the Dead is really strong, but... So now on to Nagas. Now, from what I saw, the Nagas weren't actually that bad from playing Shift. I have a feeling I'm going to be wrong, though. I'll put them in here. I'll, Naga. Oh, wait, no, it's not showing me the plane shift ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bam. Nagas, where are you? Naga. Okay, right. So, let's have a look at Nagas. Right. I'll get a page up so that Oh, Nagas are on Amonkhet. Oh, of course, yeah. Ronus is a guy. Whoops. Right. Let me just go to screen capture. I've shrunk myself into the corner. But, yeah. You get +2 Constitution, +1 Intelligence. You age older. You're generally neutral or neutral evil. You are long. Very longe. You have speed. You can use a speed burst by lowering your body to the ground, propelling yourself with your arms. You can move more quickly for a time as a bonus action in your turn. If you have both hands free, you can increase your walking speed by 5 feet until the end of your turn. That's really terrible. Natural weapons. So yeah, you could choose to bite people, which does a little bit of damage and causes them to suffer poison damage, or you can attempt to constrict them, which I think is kind of cool. And then you are immune to poison damage and can't be poisoned. Okay. And why is it called Relentless Endurance? I think that's an error. It should be, it's called Poison Immunity. Wikidot, why do you do this? Why must you hurt me this way? Oh, my chat box is, Wait, no it isn't. It's just not showing up. Weird. Very strange. Somebody say something in chat quickly. Just like, whatever, anything. Oh, wait, no, it is coming up. Penis. Yes. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you very much. Yeah, constrict restrains, which is crazy. It's cool, but it's nuts. I think if that was there on its own, I think it would probably be okay, but... If that was like all you got, it would probably be fine. But... Or just not make it restrain people, I think is probably the way to do this. So let's copy this. Put it in here. Oh, I'll change it back to the Word document view. There we go. A bit nicer to look at. Oh god, that paste without formatting. Oh no. Shit. So Constitution and Intelligence seems... That doesn't make any sense to me. It should be Charisma and Intelligence, because they're tricksters, they're sneaky. Oh, hang on, here we go. Your Constitution, Intelligence, and Charisma scores all increase by 1. There we go. I show no signs of aging beyond this point. Okay, I'm probably going to take a break in a couple of minutes and go grab my own food. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. I'll be going for another sort of hour or so. Can theoretically live forever. Most Nagas are neutral, with the implication that this could mean anything in sort of the central cross of the alignment charts. They could be neutral good, true neutral, lawful neutral, chaotic neutral, neutral evil, generally neutral evil though. Now this... with your full body strength, take the dash action. You may lower your body to the ground with your full weight. You lose the use of your arms this turn until the end of your turn, but gain a bonus to and gain a... Oh, hang on. You gain a 10-foot bonus to your speed. No. You may move an additional 15 feet as a part of this dash action, but lose access to your arms until the end of your turn. So there we go. if you really need to like skedaddle, especially if you're a rogue. So you drop down and you dash with the highest possible speed you can get. So I think that sort of balances that out a bit more nicely. Natural weapons. The natural weapons I feel are fine, except we cut out this part of this sentence, and then it's pretty reasonable actually. And then we take venomous blood, venomous affinity, you are resistant to poison damage and gain advantage on saving throws made against the poisoned condition. Additionally, you gain proficiency in poisonous kits, or in the poisonous kit. I think it's probably more reasonable there. I think that probably makes things a lot fairer in that respect. So I think the natural weapons were otherwise fine. I think they're kind of neat. Though I don't think they should do a D4 as well, because being crushed hurts, but I think having the fangs of a man-sized serpent dig into your flesh is equally painful. But neither are going to instantaneously kill a man, on their own at least. So yeah, I think that's probably fairly reasonable. I think the Nagas have been pulled from the realms of ridiculum down to reality, I think. Anyone have anything notable to add? Because if not, I am going to go and take a break. I will not be gone a horrendously long time, because I'm just going to go grab some food. Yes, I hope everybody's enjoying themselves. I'm having a good time this evening. It's been a cool stream thus far. We've made a lot of progress, actually. The core have been sorted out, the merfolk have all been sorted out. The Nagas, I think, are in a pretty decent spot. We're going to move on, and we're going to touch on the Phyrexians after this, which is going to be interesting. Interesting indeed. I have a lot of potentially ridiculous ideas for them. But yeah, I will be back in probably about 10 minutes or so. Sit tight, I won't be gone too long. Yes, I'll be back in a bit. I'm back. Sorted myself some soup. And have since consumed said soup. Oh, thank you for the follow, Feather Fail. It's Feather Fail, not Feather Fall. We're so close. So close. 6 more. Yeah. So we're doing some design for magic races for 5th edition. We're mostly just taking a lot of the plane shifted ones and making them not really bad, because most of them are really terrible. And we're now moving on to one that isn't from plane shift. We're looking at Phyrexians. And I have a lot of interesting ideas for Phyrexians. Now, for anyone who is unawares, the Phyrexians are generally Sure, why not? I'll say drop a link in the chat or something. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I don't have an auto mod or anything like that. Obviously, you know, if there's spam, then I'll get rid of it. But I've okay, it's a path. Okay. When you take damage, what's ready? Okay. I will. Hang on. Bam. There we go. I'm not sure on the flavor of the 6th level feature. I'm also not very sure if it's very powerful either. Really, I think that could use a rejig. I'm liking the 3rd level feature. It's neat. There's probably some language stuff in there that needs fixing, but from what I've read so far, hang on. And it's this is, hang on, what is the build to your barbarian plus half the damage taken? I would. Okay, right, hang on. Give me a minute. I do this for a living, so. Well, a living is a strong word, but I do this for money sometimes. But I have no problem with taking a quick look at this because it's very small. Yeah, I like the flavor. The flavor is strong. It's cool. I like this ability. This here, I would probably shave off this, because there are a lot of ways for you to take a shitload of damage as a barbarian, which means that you might be out pumping out more hit points than a cleric. I would remove this and instead go with plus your Constitution modifier. Especially given that it doesn't cost your action or anything. This is effectively free by sort of action economy standards, which is not... it is a reaction, but like a reaction when compared to your whole action or your bonus action on your turn is completely incomparable. But yeah, I'd say, and then again, there's like some language stuff. Like here, there's actually technically no way for you to get these uses back, so it would be regaining expended uses whenever you complete a long rest. Stabilizing rage, I would actually probably scrap that and go with something else. Stabilization is largely not very useful. The range is really small. I think there are a lot of places you can take it. and it'd still be really interesting. But I think this is a bit of a misnomer. I don't think this is the way this should go. But the rest of it I'm liking a lot. Oh, that should... Yeah, that should not be... This ability should not be per rage. It's extremely powerful. It definitely should not be per rage. Especially in its... Even in this form, where I've nerfed it quite considerably. It should not be per rage. That's nuts. Like, that's crazy. Oh, this damage cannot be self-inflicted. Yeah. It's a very clean... It's not necessarily how I would word this. I would probably make this a lot longer. But it's a very clean way of doing this. So I think that's fine. Yeah, 100% con mod, not half the damage taken. Because half the damage could be... You know, if you're a barbarian, a level 20 barbarian, that could be 70 hit points. You know, there are plenty of ways for you to take 140 damage from a single attack. And as a barbarian, that means, like, basically nothing. But you then just saying, oh yeah, 70 hit points. Well, you're 20th level, so 90 hit points. And that's like, you know, like 5 times per rage. That's nuts. So 100%. This I would shave this off. I think there's I don't think this is really in power at all. It seems very weak, and there's not really a way you can make this strong. This kind of ability. This ability here, I would maybe tune this down. I'm not 100% certain though. It might be okay. I'm actually no. I think it's below half your. I think that's okay. And I haven't actually read this one yet. Furious paramedic. I like that. And yeah, this ability here. This is fine. This is totally fine. I would maybe add, like, given the changes I've made here, maybe add additionally, whenever you complete short or long rest, you regain a short, no, it should be short rest. You regain up to 2 expanded uses of your sacrificial healing, or up to half your maximum of your sacrificial healing feature, something like that. Yeah, I think these here, like this ability, just base is fine. This is a strong idea. I like it a lot, but nerfs like this. I don't so much have time for that. But if you've got like if you have like a contact, you know, can you drop me an email or something? I'd happily take a look at it for you. I don't know much about Artificer, to be fair. So, oh shit, I mean to do that. Yeah, sure. Hang on. I'm not sure whether you can whisper me on Twitch. I have absolutely no idea how this works. Hang on. Yeah, if you yeah, I'll say just whisper it to me. That should be fine. I will take a look at it later on tonight, because I want to finish what I was working on before. I can also send you this as well. Yeah, I'll take a look at the whisper after the stream is over. But yeah, no, I'll say this is a strong idea. I like this. Here's Word doc. Here we go. Okay, Phyrexians. constructed from another creature, Phyrexians vary greatly in their size and shape. I should have Constitution and probably Charisma. Their size and shape. Some are humanoid, but weighed down by heavy metal plates, whilst others are far more yeah. I say I know the flavor for Artificer, but I don't know the class. I don't know like the mechanical basis for the class itself really. I know they have like infusions and shit like that, but I've never really read it. I have a whole bunch of like classes in my home game, so the Artificer was not a niche I needed filling. My heavy metal placed, while others are far more bestial or monstrous in form. Also, bestial does not have an A, which really annoys me. Generally, your size is medium. Well, it should be your size is medium or small. I will skip over these bits here because they're not particularly important to the grander scheme of things. Right, what comes... Oh, it's just features from here. Oh, no, it's not. Speed. Okay, that's neat. So, as a side note, for future, I would strongly recommend the Discord of Many Things, if you're not already in there. They're generally pretty decent. There's a handful of folks in there who don't really... I mean, let me just check the rules on the Discord itself, but I think you can just join it by Googling it, but I genuinely don't know. Let me check the rules. Assuming that there is, nope. See how I can just send you a link. Hang on. At least I think I can. No, I can't. But it should just be like a Google search away. I'm pretty sure it's fairly well known. I'll test it myself. Discord of Many Things. Yeah. Is first result. Wasn't sure if it would be, but right. We'll go con and charisma for now, because I think that makes the most sense. Now, I need to look up centaurs, because they have a feature akin to what I'm looking for. Never mind. No, it is not. Here we go. Right. So we got hybrid nature, which I think is fairly evident. Now, I thought I just received a call, but I did not. Phyrexian Horror. You gain proficiency in the intimidation skill. I think is for anyone who wants vibes of Phyrexia, because it's my favorite plane from Magic, because I love it so much. It looks so cool. Phyrexian Unlife is a card that exists. I shall put a link to it in chat. You may click on it if you wish, though do be warned, it is vaguely distressing. You know, it's PG. It is a card game for, you know, that's mass marketed for wide audiences, but it is a little distressing to look at. Yeah, it is. Just double checking, making sure it was still just as creepy, and it is. Nothing has changed. Right. What is the wording of half orc? You get proficiency in the intimidation skill. Okay, yeah, it's all good. No. Speaking of which, I think the bot put a link in before, but I make stuff for the DM's Guild. Got some spells, got some magic items, got some neat stuff. I'm very, very happy with a lot of the stuff that's on there. No, I'm selling Phyrexian Unlife, which is you don't really sell Phyrexian Unlife. You just sort of let people experience it in all of its horrid glory. I love that card. It's so great. Right, so Phyrexian mechanics is languages. You can speak, read, and write Phyrexian and 2 other languages of your choice. You don't get common if you don't want it. Now, I should probably just, you know, give them common, because everyone's going to choose common, so. Greetings. I'm doing pretty good. I'm going to be wrapping up within the next sort of 10 to 15 minutes, but doing some homebrew. Phyrexian is a language of scraping metal and low guttural grunts and screams. Oh yeah, but this is just for we're ripping this from. Oh, thank you for the follow. This is conversion of Magic, and also this is just generic homebrew. So this isn't for a setting or anything. This is just this is just like this is just races. There we go. Basic language is hard sometimes. Is a language of scraping metal combined with... I didn't finish my sentence. Low guttural grunts and screams. I've never done daily sessions, that's for sure, but certainly not of the same campaign. Actually, no, well... I did something vaguely similar for a much shorter period of time. It was a lot less formal. Yeah, that's pretty neat. I just run lots of different games I've taken the last couple weeks off because it's burnout, yo. Yeah, yeah, I'm more or less the same. Okay. No, sub races, there we go. Where is new? That's pretty good. Yeah, I think codeaming would probably work quite well for you, Katie. Yeah, I do like that story. The study up, bitch. Game night is Friday. That's pretty good. I like that. Halfling. Here we go. That's what I'm looking for. Fuck, need to go find these. Hang on. What we're going to do, because I can't find the actual wording of it online, is we're going to actually open one of the physical books for once. Imagine doing that. Oh, right. Yeah, that's a pretty good combination there. So, trust me, I have learned of its majesty. I am well versed in 5e tools, and daily do I learn more of its wonders. Love me some 5e tools. Just I couldn't find the specific wording for what I was looking for. The wording of how the sub-races section is listed in the books, and I have found an okay example. I'm going to switch to another one, see what that one's like. Oh, hang on, this might be better. There we go. Right. The Phyrexians divide themselves. Anyone who plays Magic is obsessed with Magic. There's no such thing as being passively interested in it and just kind of playing it occasionally. You either don't play Magic or you are obsessed with it, because it's one of those games that just consumes you. It's brilliant. Obviously, there's a whole bunch of like D&D Magic books. There's Ravnica and Theros. I've not really read Theros, but Ravnica I really liked. Well, you didn't play it enough. I think was your problem. You hadn't. My thing is, anyone who plays Magic has a very specific moment or series of moments that sort of, grabs them like a fisherman catches his keep, or a bear slaps a salmon out of a river. I mean, everyone's shit at it when they start. That's the idea. Yeah, it was like, I think anyone who plays Magic sort of had their thing that hooked them and kept them hooked. And as long as that thing was always there, they were tight with the game, big time. love me some Magic. I'm running one of my upcoming. The reason I'm doing this is I'm running a game in which all the players are planeswalkers in the next few months. And I'm very, very excited for it because it means I get to play as I get to like act as some of my favorite characters from Magic, which is, and also, you know. Yeah, that you need somebody who knows how to do the D&D pitch, who knows how to do the sell. Because I think nowadays especially people sort of explaining D&D is a lot easier because that sort of pop culture sort of understanding is a lot more sort of ingrained in, especially, you know, anybody under 30 like knows what a fucking wizard is. Like, and by that logic, also anyone over 50 also knows what a wizard is. It's sort of that gap that has sort of kind of formed where that's either really shitty selling or he's just a shitty TM. Yeah, it's like it's not a choose your own adventure book. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like the concept of the game very rarely sells people. It's sort of the stories and the sort of the people who aren't already interested in D&D are not going to be made interested by you explaining the game to them. They're going to be made interested by you talking about your experience with the game. Yeah, that's yeah. Yeah, that was almost exactly what I was thinking of when you spoke before. That's rough. Yeah. I say it all it takes is one bad pitch to. I've gotten good at it because I've introduced a lot of players over the years, but I've fucked it up royally on at least one or two separate occasions, and just completely killed D&D for at least two or three people. And those people will probably play again because they were interested from the outset and they didn't need the explanation, but I was dumb enough to give it to them anyway, and it killed their interest. But they will most likely end up playing it with literally anybody else at some point in the future. Yeah, I'll say I'm both too young and too new to know old editions. I played a very small amount of 4th edition, which I didn't really like, because God, the combat in 4th edition was awful. But 5e came. Oh God, need to fucking drink some water. 5e came out, and I was like, that. Played it more or less every week. At least once every week for the last, 5 years. Well, it's pushing 5 years. It's not... No, it is. It is 5 years now. Because it's August 24th or something like that is my 14th. There's a 4 in there somewhere, and it's in August. The Phyrexians divide themselves into 5 distinct factions. Choose one of these factions as your Phyrexians' origins. I can hazard a guess. They either attacked a guard, opened a shop of some kind, got really attached to the bad guy, or just some random goblin, maybe, or just insta-gib the bad guy. That might also be. That's also quite popular. Now, I think we will save... Yeah, I think we will. Obviously, we got a bit caught up in some other stuff, which is fine. Had a pretty good time with it, so I think we will probably finish the Phyrexian sort of base race, and then probably call it quits there. I think for today. Rather Venomous, that is a strong name. I like that. Big fan of cool villain names. An orc, he was a villain of it. I wanted to introduce. That's... yeah. Yeah, that's... personally, that's never happened to me, because I find that monster hit points tend to be a bit of a suggestion, but though then again, I've never quite had a player be quite so chaotic. Yeah, that's kind of neat. I try to sort of keep a guiding hand on my games and sort of... it's by no means railroading, but sort of a soft push. Yes. The classic. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's I suppose that's the sort of the RP experience, I guess, sort of the improv just like clicking. Because I really clicked with improv, which I didn't expect at all, because I fucking hated like drama and shit as a kid. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, I like plans are great to have, but like nothing beats. I found that I come up with some of the best plot points I've ever done just on the spot. I just on the spot had like this revelatory moment and just been like, right, I guess we're doing this now. I think it was happened quite recently. I was running a game. If Spider Silk is still here, he will know this because I put him through this horror quite recently. An old villain of theirs. Oh, yikes. Yeah. Yeah, there's, yeah. Like, ripping up a page of notes, or, well, a page of notes for me is like 4 bullet points. Like 4 short bullet points is like my session notes, generally. Unless something crazy's happening. But, yeah, quite recently, like, this group who Spider Silk is in, if he's still here, I'm not sure if he is, they had this big sort of thing happening. And, they had like an enemy that like snuck into their base and was taking control of people. And I just very quietly, because we were playing online, I had one of the other players make a whiz save, and they failed. And when they finally got around to try and ambush this big serpent, this Naga, it was like, oh yeah, 2 of your companions start trying to murder you. They had dispel magic and stuff, so they managed to fix it and still kill her. But it was a tough fight, and it was super cool. That I was just like, huh, maybe she would like sneak into their rooms at night, and then she did, and it was cool. I hate making battle maps, but I do like making world maps. I'm a big fan of Hexographer. Incarnate I used to use a lot, but then it just proved to be too much of a goddamn faff. It's gotten a lot better now, to be fair, so I might go back to it at some point. But Hexographer, I love hexographer. I did like actual cartography once for a big setting I was making, but I don't think I'd ever do it again because it was just a nightmare. It took hours. Yeah, sure thing. I'll say I'll finish this and I'll take a look at that and I'll probably call it quits for today, because I got places to be. I gotta go do some shit. Probably should have stopped about 10 minutes ago, to be fair, but it's fine. That's Incarnate, yeah. I recognise that. That's pretty cool. Wait, is that Incarnate? Looks like it. It does and it doesn't. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Oh. Yeah, each individual, like, tiny zone is named. I'm a fan. Ooh, okay, I've never heard of Wonderdraft. Sea of Burning Stars. That's a fucking name right there. That's strong. Yeah, I'm a big fan of these. Oh yeah, this random sort of like section of ground is named. Like, that's big fan of that. Ah yes, MS Paint, our greatest of friends. Clearwater Golf, Griffin Perch, King's Road. Yeah, these feel very fantasy, but also very real. I like this a lot. This is strong. Redstone Port, Greyview. Yeah, this is strong. I like this. Ah, that's pretty cool. Is it a continuous meteor shower, or is it just like, it just happened once and now it's not there anymore? Ah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I like that. But yes, I haven't done much commentary on the actual work I've been doing, but that's fine. But yeah, I think we didn't finish everything today, but that's fine. We started quite late. I took quite a long break, so because I was like eating food. But yeah, I'm gonna stop here. I hope everybody has enjoyed themselves. I shall probably raid somebody. God knows who. Oh, there's one person. Let me just check, make sure there's not anybody else. Yeah, you too. Thank you very much for dropping by and the follow and all that. Oh, we shall raid Finn the Bin, playing Stardew Valley. Okay. I shall post what we have done on Twitter later on. But yeah. I shall, Alright. Thanks very much for sticking around. I'll be streaming again later on this week, probably. Yeah. But yeah. Thanks very much for sticking around. See ya.